Hello, you awesome friends. This is your pal Edwards here speaking. Welcome to LinkedIn Live on Thursday of Edwards here, where I share with you my latest LinkedIn secrets and everything. Now, it's probably not the best idea me doing a live right now. Well, it is because I get to talk to you. But one of the things is I've actually got a sore throat right now, just a little bit dry, a little bit dry. And I'm hoping my voice will last at least 15 minutes. But you know what? I've spoken through events with a much worse voice and done well. So just to say a big welcome. Thank you for tuning into my lives. If you're watching the recording, like, share, and comment. If you're here live, like, share, and comment. And just so you know, I've got my mobile phone right here. So as you know, my legendary friends, as we live away, I have my phone here in real time to see what's going on. But I just want to say a big thank you if you just tuned in. You are up for a treat. I'm going to tell you my latest on LinkedIn. Some of it you might have heard before. Some of it might be new to you. But if you've got any questions, you put them through in the chat. And also, too, we've got our LinkedIn Influencer Workshop this weekend. So if you love what I'm about and want to join our LinkedIn Influencer Workshop, it's great. So I've got my phone here. Oh, my God, we've got Lily Coates. Lily Coates, love having you with us, my friend. I'm actually just busy just sharing this around the place. So there you go. So that's one of the key things, actually. One of the first things I want to share. Oh, my God, Robert Stage, welcome. You've just come in. Say hello and I'll give you a shout out. And while you're here, share your website network. And one of the biggest things that I found about LinkedIn that's very important is liking, sharing, and commenting on other people. I can't stress that enough. The more you like, share, and comment on other people does two things. Firstly, you get more views. As you like, share, and comment on other people's content, you get more views. And of course, you share people that with values that you resonate with and suit your audience. The second thing that is absolutely profound, my friends, that I want to share with you is that as you connect with amazing people, right? They're going to support your content more. So again, liking, sharing, commenting other people's content gives you more views. Plus it comes back your way. And oh my God, we've got Linda Coleman with us. Linda Coleman, welcome. Zoe McQuillan, welcome. Robert Stage, Lily Coates, thank you for tuning in. And you know what I've learned? I now have the perfect time to do. I can say this now. I've done my testing. I'm looking at the data right now. That's one the thing about LinkedIn. Oh my God, Bryce Purnell, love your work. LinkedIn, out of all the social media platforms, LinkedIn gives you the highest quality data. I really do think that. Gives you the best quality data to make sure, is your content hitting the right person? Are they from the right place? And are people reacting the way? And I can now say this, out of all the lives I've ever done, I've probably done about 50 lives in my time, but of this new format, this is maybe the 10th one. You know, I find the best time is afternoon. Afternoon's the best time to do it. I've done early in the morning, mid-morning, mid-afternoon. I find lunchtime, afternoon's the best time to do a LinkedIn Live. And I'll tell you why. And I mean it from my own viewpoint, of course, like as in Australian, Sydney time zone. People in my own local time zone, Sydney, are around and watch it. But also I find it's very compatible with other places, very compatible with Dubai, Middle East, extremely compatible with the United States. And you know we love the United States. Not too compatible with the UK, so I'll have to pick up the recording unless they're real night owls. But you know what I mean. You can never hit everyone. And I hit the UK with my Zooms anyway. But you know what? Right now, I've got 21 of you winners watching me live. I don't often get a peak. Usually it's about 15 or 20, right? I'll get hundreds of people coming through altogether. But in terms of actual peak attendance, I've got 21 of you winners. So I'll tell you now, afternoons are the time to do lives. And you know how I figured that out? By doing heaps of lives. Now, that might vary for your audience, but that's my first secret I want to share with you, legendary people. And I just want to remind you of how awesome you are. And I just want to ask you something. If you think you're awesome, just let me know in the chat because I appreciate you. I appreciate how wonderful you are, and I love your work. And the more you support other people, is the better you're going to be up. And Robert Stage, you are a brilliant man. And oh my God, we got Brian Morrison. I was actually thinking about Brian Morrison. Brian Morrison, we've got our networking Zoom. If you want to come. Oh, this goes for everyone, by the way. Well, I've got you. A few things. Tonight, Thursday, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Sydney time, 8 p.m. our time in the evening, we've got our next networking Zoom. Love to have you with us. To find the link, you go to edwardsear.com. You'll find my meetup group, or send me, and I'll send you the details. Tell me where you're from too, and if you think you're awesome, like Ryan McCartney, who's with us, love your work, let me know in the chat. And we've got Michael Imazidis, Brian Morrison, Robert, Bryce Purnell, Arvin, welcome, Linda Coleman. And if I'm looking away, please don't think I'm being rude. I actually use my phone. Oh my God, 24 people. There you go. Done. That's it. Afternoon's the right time to do the lives. And that's the thing. That's one thing that you'll get with Edwards Ear. I'm not perfect. And believe it or not, There's not many. There's some people out there that don't like me. Fortunately, it's not many of them. The ruling majority of you like me, and thank you, because I need your love, and right back at you. But the biggest thing that I've learned is that afternoons are fantastic for lives, and I highly recommend them. Bruno, welcome, which is all fantastic. So welcome to your winners. Now, here's one of the biggest things. I've said this a lot. You've probably heard me say this a million times before. So this is the 1,000,000th time. Use it and get the feel for it. Now, the biggest thing is that I try not to spend too much time on Facebook and Instagram and the other platforms. Oh my God, we got Kate Chisholm with us. Kate Chisholm is from Brisbane, Queensland, beautiful place. We've got Matthew Wallace, also from Brisbane, Queensland. Tell me where you're from, and I'm going to give you a shout out. We've got Brian Morrison from Scotland. Tell me where you're from. And while you're here, please use the LinkedIn chat sounds like a guy that you play football with. Use the LinkedIn live chat to network as well. Chuck. Sounds cool. It's like a martial arts movie, right? But welcome all. Great having you all with us. But I've never had this many people peek at one of my lives before. And I'll tell you now, it's the afternoons, my friend. So here's one of my things for you. This one comes down to every platform is different. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you're into. No judgment from me, but I'm a LinkedIn guy. The biggest thing is that every platform is quite different. So the platform you spend the most time on, you'll sort of form its ideas and get the biggest feel for it. And at the end of the day, the trick is that because I use LinkedIn so much, I just get a natural feel for it. And oh my God, Robert Stage says this. Love the tips, Ed. Love the positivity, especially the psychology behind your life. Thank you, Robert Stage. Robert Stage, you are a great man. And just a quick, I've got Trent Mitchell with us. Trent Mitchell, love your work. Now, just a quick apology up front. Just want to let you know how things work with the chat, right? Because it said this. The moment a word leaves my mouth, it takes 20 seconds to hit you. And by the time you process it and come back to me, it can be a minute. So in other words, the moment I say something, it can be a minute till the reactions come in. So just something to keep in mind. So yes, it's live. So I'm here live. But it's kind of delayed by about 20 seconds. I've actually tested that, which is really, really cool. So the funny thing is that I'm watching on my mobile phone. I'll do a gesture like that. And then 20 seconds later, I'll see that gesture come through. So there you go. And who's doing those love hearts? You're awesome. And love your work. But as you get into LinkedIn more, you get a feel for it. You get a feel for what works, what doesn't work. And in my case, the lives, the biggest thing on my mind lately, it's like anything in business, right? By the way, I got my coffee here. Today's coffee is a beautiful long black. So friends, I know it's going to be a minute delayed or about half a minute. Get your coffee, drink, wine, beverage, Coca-Cola, pick it up. Let's have a sip together. And this is to you, my friends. This is to your abundance and your winning. I want you to win. So as you sip, think about your next glorious victory coming up. That's my first cup of coffee in a few hours. I've just seen, on a funny note, actually, I'm actually flying to Melbourne tomorrow. So this morning I've been doing household stuff. So I've been shopping, cooking food, getting everything ready. So when I leave tomorrow, everything flows. I always try and do that. Matthew Wallace. I love you, Matthew Wallace. And yeah, stream delay, exactly. That's a better way of saying it, actually, stream delay. You do get a bit of a stream delay, which is all good. And I just want to say I love your work. But as you use LinkedIn more, you just get, oh my God, 27 people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to you. 27. I've never actually, in a while, had this many people live. Time is afternoon, my friends. Lunchtime afternoons, late. Don't do early. Now, this is the thing. Actually, it's funny. I'm going to tell you one of my results. I did a LinkedIn live at 9:30. No, I had about 5 to 10 people on there. And what I mean by is 5 to 10 people on at once, right? So I did one about 9:30 a.m. and I was like, no, just totally sucked, which is really, really, really annoying. So that's just kind of the way that it goes, my legendary friends. And I just got to say, I love your incredible work. And you're all just such winners. I really admire you winners so much. And you want to know why I admire you? Let me tell you why I admire you. And oh my God, we've got a bit of a spammer on the thread here. Everyone watching? All right, spammer, this is for you. I'm on to the spammer. Oh my God. Oh my God. The spam has just gone, my friends. They just disappeared. That's one of the things I love about LinkedIn. This is why I love it. So in real time, I can see what's going on and I can block spammers just like that. So that person who was spamming everyone, I very sorry about that, but I just blocked them. So they should all disappear because I agree with you. No spamming at all. We just don't support that around here. We're not about spamming. We're about empowerment and helping people, helping awesome people like you. That's really good. So I'm just jumping back into live. I'll tell you what, live is so good for a mobile phone. You can really tell that, oh my God, Bryce Purnell, love you. Bryce Purnell's in Canada. Have a great evening. Trent Mitchell, 10:30 a.m. I love your work, Trent. Oh, and Matthew Wallace is sitting in a data center over there, which is all very, very, very good. Kate Chisholm's got a great question. I'm going to teach you right now. So Kate Chisholm just says, I'm keen to start running LinkedIn Lives. Where can I learn quickly? The answer is you can learn right now, Kate. Listen carefully to how to do a LinkedIn Live. Copy my format. My LinkedIn Lives go for about 15 minutes to half an hour. And what I do on the LinkedIn Lives is I have 7 points on my PowerPoint that I talk through, and I do a light sell. It's just fantastic. And Kate Chisholm, if you want some more training on LinkedIn Live, send me a message, and we've got a great program that'll look after you. But the best way of learning how to do a LinkedIn Live? Have a guess what I'm going to say, friends. Have a wild guess what I'm going to say. What's the best way of doing a LinkedIn Live? Do one. Just start one. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, Brian, we got him. We got him. I had this other one the other day. Right? And that's the thing about LinkedIn. Two things about LinkedIn. You don't have that many spammers. And B, LinkedIn has good ways of defending against it. So the most common form of abuse that people very rarely abuse me or say things to me like on LinkedIn. The most common form of abuse I get is people trying to spam me or scam me. That's the most common one. And the beauty about LinkedIn is that you've got the best spam protection. So if someone spams, like messages you can report it. Or in this case, we just had someone on LinkedIn Live, then boom, blocked. And it's not just that they're gone from the live, they can't get back in there to harass us again. Unless they create another account, which I was blocked anyway. But Kate Chisholm, I hope it answers your question. And while I've got you all, quick sale job, if you don't mind me selling for a second, I hope you don't mind. This Saturday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Seaboard time, we've got our next LinkedIn Influencer Mastery Workshop. It's a monthly premium paid workshop. I know you love it. If you're interested, just send me a message. Over LinkedIn, I'll send you some details. But as you use it more, you get a feel for it. And number two, this brings me to the next point. You got to know who you are focusing on. Oh my God, Robert Stage, he's 8:51, listening in from Laramie, Wyoming. Okay, Laramie, Wyoming. Cool name, Laramie. There you go. Sounds like French. Laramie? Is it Laramie or Laramie? It sounds like a French or even a Spanish name, if you don't mind me saying. Yeah, Brian Morrison, you absolutely can delete spammers during a live on LinkedIn. I'll show you exactly what I do, right? I won't do it because I love you when it's right, but just let me do like. So what I've learned, right, when you're doing a LinkedIn Live is you got to use your computer. So do not do a LinkedIn Live from a phone or you're going to embarrass yourself. So no, don't do that. You got to use a computer. So to do a LinkedIn Live, you need a good PC to run StreamYard or Restream. They're the programs you use. But you need really good internet, really good stable internet. It takes a lot of data to run a live stream. You got to remember, if you have a data hiccup on a live, your brand's already damaged and embarrasses you. So that's a big thing. So yeah, all lives are available. That's the beauty about a LinkedIn Live. Once a LinkedIn Live is done, it just sits up there as a recording forever, unless you delete it or something, right? Which you can do. But here's, oh my God, Jeff Beal. We got Jeff Beal from Manila. Great seeing you, Jeff. But that's the beauty of it. So what you can do is, and we had this one last time, this guy that was saying like sexual stuff, right? Being really just creepy, right? Saying this weird stuff to the ladies on that call. So what I did was, all you do, the way you block someone from LinkedIn Live, you just open up their profile and just block them. So there's not so much a delete and block from the LinkedIn Live, but if someone's spamming your LinkedIn Live, once you block them, they get instantly disconnected and all their comments and that disappears. So yeah, they probably actually do need, now we're talking about it, I'm sure they will. LinkedIn and Microsoft are really good. And I've had a few people from Microsoft watch my live, so thank you. But quite often they do need like a kick and delete button, especially as your live streams get bigger. But yeah, which is all really good. But the big thing I want to say to you is you got to know exactly who you're focusing on. So for example, I focus on people like you, great people, successful people, people who are positive, people who love helping each other. That's my ideal customer. They can be a millionaire, they can have no money, they can be a multi-millionaire. Makes no difference to me, but that's the sort of person that I focus on. About half of our business comes from Australia, half from across the world. If you are one of our clients or someone giving us money, thank you. By the way, if you do want to give us some money, we love that. Go to edwardsear.com. You'll find my PayPal links there. We appreciate everything. It's really, really good. And by the way, it doesn't go to me. It either goes to Virgin Airlines to help me fly somewhere to run an event, or it goes to Lassie and the kiddies, which is all fantastic. But knowing who you're focusing on is very important. So I'm very clear on who my target customer is, right? I'm very clear on it. I know exactly the type of person that would make a good customer. So I focus on them. I build content for them. They're the ones I put my sales energy into, which is all fantastic, which is all really, really good. Number 3, and this is something I wish I did more of. I wish I put more thought into this, but you need to think through how you sell. What is your sales process? So here's an interesting mistake. I would call this a mistake that I made. So in our business, we've got 2 ways that people often work with us. They come to one of our paid workshops, which is on this weekend. If you're interested, let me know. The other way that a lot of people come to us, work with us, is through our LinkedIn Influencer Program business community. It's like a membership mentoring program. The membership takes a lot more work to sell, right? It does take a bit of work to sell, but the workshops are such an easy and simple sell. And what I've learned is in our business is a workshop's an easy one-off purchase for a great price, right? So easy to buy. Whereas the mentoring program takes a bit more thought and involvement. So what I've learned is that when I put forward our workshop, it's an easy sell. So I've learned when it comes to me selling, it's better to put the majority of my sales focus into our workshop because A, it's easier to sell, but B, then once people sign up, then you get additional sales from that. A lot of people do it. A lot of people come to a workshop, have a good time, we win them over, then they'll sign up to our program. So usually that's mostly the case. So in your case, are you trying to get a new job? Are you trying to get promoted? Are you in business? What are you trying to do? Think through your actual sales process and how you connect with people. It's very, very, very important. Right? I wish I did more of that. And you want to create content to bring the right people to you. So, for example, I've done this live in such a way that I would enjoy it. If you're enjoying this live, and thank you for watching, it means that we're very similar because I would watch this live, right? I will only do things that I would do. So I would only sell things or create content that I would view myself. So the thing is that if you like this live, and thank you for tuning in, watching, recording live, I appreciate it because we're all very similar. And just remind me of something too, my friends. You got any questions about LinkedIn? Type them in the chat. You got any questions? Type them in. I might not be able to answer them. I reckon I can answer 90% of your questions. Every now and then I get asked something a bit nuts that I'm like, no, can't answer that one. No, I don't know. Kate Chisholm makes a good point. Great. Love your work, Kate Chisholm. Sales ladder, allowing us to know and trust your product more. Right, exactly. So, for example, I've always done the free layer very well. I'm doing a LinkedIn Live for you now, right? I've done the free layer very well. But what I then did in incorrect my sales process is that I try and sell my top mentoring program and not sell the workshop in between. I realized, hang on, the workshop in between is what I should be selling them. So once people buy that, then they'll buy the other one. Of course, some people will come along and just buy your top program. And thank you for that, by the way, if you've done that. But I'm just saying that's the way that it goes. But I was going to say, if you've got any LinkedIn questions, type them in the chat. But create content that brings people to you. It can be doing lives like this. It can be more lifestyle empowerment videos. It could be more technical in nature where you write articles. We're all different, right? We all have different businesses, different people. So it's not about this content's better than that piece of content. My question is, are you creating the right piece of content for the person you're after? So are you creating the right piece of content for the person you're after? And if the answer is yes, then that's good content. It's not about Ed's opinion. It's about the opinion of the people that you're after. That's very, very important. Kate Chisholm also says, I'm only recently expanding my influencer presence on LinkedIn. All my ideal clients hang out here. Kate Chisholm, welcome to LinkedIn. I got into LinkedIn about 3 years ago. I wish I got into it 10 years ago. It is the place where it all happens. I wish I just got out of Facebook earlier. And it's funny, actually, Facebook. Threads. Threads. Okay. I was having this chat before. One of my friends from Melbourne. Catherine Abe, if you're here, you're an amazing young lady. So Facebook Threads, or Meta Threads, I should say. So, hey, Keenal, welcome. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. If you've got any LinkedIn questions, ask away. Now, Threads, right? What is Threads? I know you're here to talk about LinkedIn, but this is kind of funny and good timing. And I predicted it. I called it. But Threads is not basically. So Meta ripped off Twitter yet again. Right? They just can't stop. They can't just Um, Robert Stage trivia. But I need to be hypnotized to be sold. Can you give me the spinning spiral eyes for a moment? I'll give you the psycho cult Tom Cruise. Actually, on one of our on one of our was it Zooms, Olga Jardine, she actually bought through a little spinning wheel that actually hypnotizes you. So it's actually really, really, really good. It's all good. But yeah, no, LinkedIn's amazing. We've got a deal with us, a deal. I've traveled a lot with Adil Rizvi, sorry. I always add a second I in your name. Sorry. Adil Rizvi, fantastic man. Adil brings you the deal on property. He's a great property guy. We've traveled a lot. He's a great man. And he says, Facebook versus LinkedIn. Is this financial advice? This is financial thinking. I don't know. There you go. So if I give financial advice, I can go to jail. But can I give you financial thinking and get away with it? I don't know. No, I'm not on TikTok. But I've got respect for TikTok. But TikTok's got a few problems. It's getting banned in a lot of countries and different places. So TikTok's getting a lot of ban. In Australia, oh my God. Robert Stage, you just made me laugh. In Australia and America too, a lot of public servants, they use TikTok anymore. That's it. So in Australia, if you're a public servant or the military, military government, public servant or whatever, they've said, no TikTok. We have a problem with you using TikTok. They've actually told everyone to get rid of it, right? So that's really bad. If you have government saying this program is a security risk and we want it gone, there's a big problem there. So that's a big thing about TikTok, which is great. And Robert Stage made a funny point. Oh my God. Adil says, good on you, legend of a man, LinkedIn king. Adil, everyone connect with each other. Now, Robert Stage made a funny comment there. Threads is low rent Twitter. Yeah, Threads is discount Twitter, right? And I'll explain to you what happened, right? So, and this is to me the idiocy of Threads, right? Absolutely. It's meant like, whoever thought, like Facebook 15 years ago, was leading the way. Even LinkedIn was trying to rip off Facebook, right? Even LinkedIn, in all honesty, has ripped off Facebook a few times with their content system and all that, right? But isn't it funny how their empire has just crumbled? Like, I have not seen one original idea out of Meta in the past 3 years. And if you do have one, tell me what it is. Because I bet you they've ripped it off from somewhere. I can find out where, right? But Threads was an interesting one. So Threads is a complete Twitter knockoff. It is discount. It's basically discount low rent Twitter. It's discount Twitter. And what they did is that on Insta, they basically said, you can sign up to Threads now. So what happened was when Threads came out, you could instantly create an account using your Instagram. And all the news who they love Meta. They're like, oh my God, Threads is out and Elon's dead and Twitter's all over. And I jumped on it and it was junk Threads. I'm like, no, I want nothing to do with this. This is like Clubhouse too. Remember Clubhouse? Remember that thing that came up and tanked? I called that one too, right? And now I saw an article this morning. Over half the new users of Threads haven't come back, and it's just being panned, right? So if you're going to use Facebook, just stay on Facebook. If you can use LinkedIn, use LinkedIn. So I love Twitter. Keno, I love Twitter. And Matthew Wallace, great having you with us, Matthew Wallace. Matthew Wallace says, solving problems is the key to closing a sale. Yes, you're absolutely spot on. And you want to create content that brings people to you. And was my next question for you, just a question to get you thinking. So sip some coffee. Got any questions about LinkedIn popping through? Would you hire and buy you? Would you hire yourself as an employee, or would you buy what you're selling? I don't think I would have a few years ago. I would now. Like now, I would gladly buy what I'm selling. But I don't know if I would have a few years ago. I know that's bad, but just telling the truth. The truth will set you free, because the more honest you are about your products and what you're selling, if you wouldn't buy what you're selling, it's time for you to do some work on what you're selling to make it more valuable. Now, I love what I'm selling. I'd buy it. That's why I'm so passionate about it. You've got to believe in what you're selling. Would you buy what you're selling? Be it yourself, your services or products or whatever. Great question. Robert Stage. Ooh, great article. Robert, you and I get along. Robert Stage says, I wrote an article about Facebook in 2012 called, Is Facebook Too Big to Fail? I reckon not anymore, right? Because at the time, there was only Facebook. And it's to Facebook. Facebook was the first one that took over the market and went mainstream, right? So to Facebook's credit. At that time, it was too big to fail, and governments were helping prop it up. Where these days, Facebook is just being ripped up, and there's no innovation. Now, I know a lot of people who work for Facebook. I'm not going to rat them out, so I'll get in trouble. I know people who work for Facebook right now that tell me about how the company's not what it was a few years ago. It's awful. It's full of politics. People aren't valuing you as a person and what you're doing, and I've heard people just panic. I'm not surprised because the company has no innovation. Appalling. Sreesan, welcome. There you go. And what a funny note, this is streaming to Facebook at the same time. So there you go. Facebook will probably kick me off Facebook because, they can't handle a bit of honesty. But seriously, Facebook, what happened to them? What happened? I can tell you what happened, but that's another story for another time. We're here to talk about LinkedIn. Rinse and repeat. And this is actually one of the key things I think people really miss out on LinkedIn. I am a master of rinsing and repeating, meaning doing it over and over again. So in other words, a lot of people will do a fantastic live or a fantastic Zoom webinar, and that's it. You got to keep rinse and repeat. You got to do it over and over and over again. And that's one of the key things, because you can have a great day of sharing content. You might get a few clients that day, but then the next day begins, and what are you going to do then to keep it all moving? So this is the key thing about rinse and repeat. What else can you do to keep things moving? What else can you do to keep things moving? Very, very, very important. Srian, love your work. You are awesome. And I'm going to say I appreciate you winners. Thank you for everything. I love your work. And my final point is, feel great about using LinkedIn. If you're using LinkedIn and not liking it, maybe you should not use LinkedIn, or a better idea is you want to rethink how you're using LinkedIn. You want to use LinkedIn in a way that feels authentically powerful to you. You really do. A way that makes you feel, because the better you feel about it. For example, yes, do I have to do this LinkedIn Live? No. I don't have to do a LinkedIn Live. I want to do a LinkedIn Live. I love doing this LinkedIn Live. You can tell I love it. You can tell this isn't fake. I'm being real, I ain't fake. But no, seriously, like, if I was faking it, I wouldn't be this passionate after 27 minutes, 19 seconds. Seriously, I wouldn't. I'd be, LinkedIn, that LinkedIn is that internet thing. But no, I'm into it, and I love your work. And hey, everyone, this is why Rob. Okay, Robert's a smart guy. I like you, Robert Stage. We should talk more. Interesting. My thesis, actually, this is a true statement. As an so I'm Australian Federal Police from a long time, and Australian military from a long time ago. So as a guy who worked in granted, I was working in drug enforcement, so I wasn't exactly Jason Bourne. I was just chasing druggies around the block, beating them for information. But Robert Stage says this. My thesis was the intelligences community would never allow Facebook to fail. Well, true, the FBI even, got to watch what I say here, but a lot of intelligence services have used Facebook for a lot of, and actually I can say this on a live stream, a lot of law enforcement has used Facebook for protecting the public. They've used it for some dodgy things too, which I disagree with, but in terms of protecting the public, they've been fantastic. People love telling, I got a funny story for you, actually. People love telling of themselves. Yeah, exactly. I had a crazy story, right? Now, I'll tell you this funny story. And again, I'll just censor it just for LinkedIn, right? But you'll love it. So we do several things in our business. So during the lockdowns, I was classified as an essential worker, basically meaning that an essential worker, if I'm going to a place to do business, I'm allowed to go there, even during lockdowns, right? That being an essential worker. So what I would do is I would go to the city, and where that actually came from wasn't my LinkedIn use, but I also help run Meetup across Australia. So I'm actually a Meetup community leader, and I actually got a letter from Meetup New York that actually said, hey, Ed actually helps people with mental health issues, and that gave me my essential worker. Long story. So because of Meetup, I was classified as an essential worker. So provided I was traveling for legitimate business work, I was allowed to pretty much go anywhere. All I had to do was just bring my letter. And people they didn't ask for my letter. I just say, hey, I'm an essential worker. I help people with mental health. And I never once got asked for paperwork, believe it or not. Heaps of times. Anyway, and so I would travel around a lot during lockdown on my own. I'd just be roaming around on my own during lockdowns, right? Going to, catching up with people, helping people with mental health issues during the lockdowns. And what happened was I took a photo. of in Sydney, 9 a.m. It was all empty. I put it on LinkedIn, and a bunch of people called the police on me. No kidding, called the cops on me. Now the cops rocked up, and my wife said, "I know it's essential work," and they're like, "We know who Edward is. We just had to come here to say we've been here, but you guys are all fine." But it was just nuts. People actually rang the cops on us. No shit. Happened quite a bit. But I had my paperwork in place, so they could ring the cops up 10 times a day, and they still wouldn't get me because I had my paperwork. So very good. Robert, love you. It's a funny story that people do rat each other out, but you want to feel good using LinkedIn. You want to feel great about it. You want to feel it right here, which is fantastic. Now, my friends, we're going to finish up our live stream shortly. So if you are watching the recording, thank you for this. Now, if you've got any LinkedIn questions or if there's anything you want to say, now's the time to say it, because I'm going to do a final wrap. Just a quick sell. This weekend, we've got our next LinkedIn Influencer Mastery Workshop. You're going to love it. If you want in, just let me know. It's the same here, Robert Stage. What is a Karen called in Australia? Now, I don't want to use the word Karen because I have a really good friend by the name of Karen Clark who is so not a Karen. So I'm not going to use the term Karen because I actually have a few friends called Karen who are actually not they're Karens, but they're not Karens, actually lovely ladies. But a Karen, my understanding is a Karen is called a Karen and a Kevin's called a Kevin. But anyway, I don't want to use the term Karen because Karen Clark, great friend of mine, she is like the nicest lady ever. She is like, even though she's named Karen, she is the antithesis of a Karen. The polar opposite. The Neo to the Agent Smith. LinkedIn workshop on the weekend. You're going to love it. If you want in, just send me a message. If you've got any LinkedIn questions, just message me. We've got a great program as well. So I'm going to quick wrap. I'm going to leave you with us to it. Robert, I love you, Robert Sage. So this is Thursday, just sharing some ideas with you. LinkedIn's awesome. LinkedIn Live, obviously. LinkedIn Lives are awesome. I'm finding afternoons are the best time for LinkedIn Lives, but do heaps. The best way is doing heaps where it works. You want to use LinkedIn and get a good feel for it. You want to know who you're focusing on. So as you create content, focus on people, you want to do that. I'm pretty in touch with, which is good. You want to think through how you sell. For a while there, I was busy trying to sell more of my high ticket programs. I said, no, stick to the workshop. So you've got to really think through how you actually sell and do it from there, which is fantastic. You want to create the great content that brings the right people to you. I know these lives are great to do all the time. Jaideep, welcome. Good seeing you, Jaideep. And a few shares as well. Matthew Wallace made a few good points. I used to hate social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Insta. But now I've adapted to see how much you can grow both your business network. And for the record, I actually like Facebook and Insta. I actually use them a little bit here and there. But again, I'm a LinkedIn guy. It's just such a pity. And I say this negatively. It's so sad seeing how much Meta and Facebook have slid over. They really need some new leadership because they're not dead. If they had some new leadership, you know what Meta needs? New leadership. Needs a new CEO, clean up the place, and reboot the company. They don't just need a name change. They don't need to just paint a, Reno, they need new leadership. That's another conversation. And put up your hand. Tell me if you think Meta should have a complete restructure and get a new CEO and everything. They need a new CEO, new leadership. They need to do a big reset of that company. That's my big advice to them. Wally's, Jeff Hill says they call Wally's, love it. But you're right. I met great people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Insta. Would you hire you or buy your stuff? Serious question. The answer is yes. Why? The answer is no. It's time to look in the mirror and you have to change yourself as a person. I had to. Do you have to work on your products, your innovations? I had to. Time to have those honest conversations. Yeah, Robert State, I agree. I think now we're talking about it. You know what Meta needs? Mark Zuckerberg stepped down as CEO. We love you, Mark. It's all that. Just sit in the corner. You know what they should do? Get Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft, get him to run Facebook. Give it 1 year of Meta, he'll double the share price, I bet you. So you stick Satya in there. But no, seriously, Meta needs a brand new CEO, needs brand new leadership and a brand new direction. And stay out of all the politics. Stop being political. And I say this all the time. I'm going to go a bit of a rant here. Either way, now I'm a right-winger, it's obvious, right? But right and left is not what I mean. I hate workplaces that get political. I love workplaces that care about people, not politics. And everyone tells me works for Meta, it's just so political in there. It's like, stop the politics, care about the people. I don't care if you're left, right, center. Something whacked my window. Scary. Maybe it's Mark Zuckerberg out there. Maybe he's like, How dare you diss me as CEO? I am the only CEO. Yeah, true, Robert. Yeah, it does need to be revified. Is that a word? I don't know if it's a word. Robert stated it needs to be revified terribly. Is that a word? Because if it's a word, I want to learn what it means. If it's not a word, it should be a word. It's a cool word, revified. I love it. Rinse and repeat. And this is something I'm very good at. Every day, you've got to be consistent. You've got to keep at it. Very important. And you want to feel great about using LinkedIn. So, friends, there we go. We've had a fantastic day today. I haven't been liking your comments. I'm just going to like all your comments now on my mobile phone. I can't believe my voice is held up. I actually coughed a little bit before jumping on. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get a bit sick here. You guys are awesome, by the way. So I'm just liking all your comments. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to say this is actually the busiest. I don't know if we'll get the most views, but in terms of actual peak attendance, it's the busiest live I've ever done. That's what I say. Thank you. You're amazing. Have a great one. If you're interested in the LinkedIn workshop on Saturday, let me know. Off to Melbourne tomorrow, which I'm very excited about to run a meetup. So I just want to say thank you all. Appreciate you winners. You stay awesome. And remember, something awesome is going to happen to you in the next 24 hours. Something very awesome.